Hello, everybody. It is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and I am back today for day 4 of the Love series. And today we are going to be talking about self-love. Is it just a buzzword? So we're going to dive into what does self-love mean to you, mean to me, and why is it so important? And I'm going to ask you to be engaged and put in the comments where you are, who's on with me, and what you feel is self-love and why do you feel it's important. And we're going to let a few more people, kind of jump on in. If you know somebody that could use and benefit hearing this message today, please share out this video. It's real simple to do. Just send them a link and let them jump on. You can do it afterwards as well as the recording, but why not do it now? Because, you might get distracted. You might forget. So show somebody some love and send them the video on self-love today. So definitely, like I said, put in the comments who's here and let me know that you are here and where you're from and what you feel self-love is. Self-love, we all talk about it. And we all say that we can't truly be loved unless we love ourselves. And so what does that have to do with how people love us is how we love ourselves? Why does that matter? How you treat yourself is the example that we set for other people to treat us in certain ways. So if we're constantly judging ourselves and putting ourselves down, other people think that's okay because you're doing it to yourself. Why can't I do it to you? This can impact your work. This could impact all of your relationships. The most important piece of this is that it's going to impact how you feel about yourself. It's going to impact you because on some level, if you don't love yourself, on some level internally, your heart knows that. Your heart knows everything about you. If you want to say your higher self, we'll throw that part of you in as well. But if your internal self knows that you don't love yourself, even though you might say you do, your heart always knows the truth. And what kind of an example are you setting to yourself that you're treating yourself that way? And by the way, if you have kids and they're watching you judge yourself or be hard on yourself or put yourself down or not treat yourself right, even take care of yourself the right way, what kind of example are you setting for your kids? Sorry, not sorry that I'm throwing out some Greek guilt. I can be really good at it at times. But the truth of the matter is, what are you saying to the people around you when you set the example to treat you badly? Now, I'm going to say a couple things, and I want you to put in the comments what feelings come up for you when I say this. Quiet time with yourself. Eating a meal at a restaurant alone. Looking in the mirror. Like, really, not just to do your makeup or brush your hair or brush your teeth, but I mean looking at yourself in the mirror. What feelings do these things bring up for you? Being alone in a room with no TV, no music, just you, whether you're reading a book, maybe not even reading a book, maybe just sitting there, being with yourself. Can you do these things? And if your answer is it's uncomfortable, why? Why is it uncomfortable? Is it because you're afraid someone's going to judge you? Oh, look at that person sitting by themselves. Is it because you don't like the things that come up in your mind? That was mine. And at times it still is. If I'm doing something by myself, the thoughts that can come up, sometimes they're not pretty thoughts, but that's okay because that's where you are emotionally. And we have to let those emotions come up. And then that's when I always say, get curious. Why are these feelings coming up for you? So, how many of you have heard a girlfriend say, "Oh, I didn't shave my legs," because they don't have a boyfriend and they don't have any dates. And so they just haven't shaved their legs. Why aren't you doing that for yourself? Sometimes we get into depression. Sometimes we get bored with life. And I get that. But when I say how you treat yourself is how others are going to treat you, do you spoil yourself? Do you buy yourself something nice just because you know you deserve it? Do you celebrate you? And if you're answering no to these things, why? Get curious. When you walk in your office or your house, even if no one's coming over, is your house a mess? Do you cook dinner for yourself? Or is it, I'll just eat whatever's in the pantry because I don't have to cook with anybody. I don't have to cook for anybody else. These are the things that I'm talking about because if you truly love yourself, then you would be doing these little things for you and taking care of you. Ultimately, right, we're born into this world and we already have self love. Self love comes with us, we're born with it. It's the years of the world beating up on us, different experiences, whether it's with people or situations. And then we start doubting, we start questioning, we lose our confidence, we lose our self esteem, and we lose ourselves. And so self love is really about finding yourself again, finding out who you are. Who is it that you want to be right now? You're not the same person you were when you were born. You're certainly not the same person you were a year ago, not even the same person you were a month ago or a week ago or a day ago. But in every day and every moment, you get to have self love. So if you want a steak for dinner, but why bother? It's just me, so I don't think I'll cook. What are you telling yourself? That you're not worth it? Really? If your home is a mess and you can't stand it and it feels like everything is closing in on you, like you're claustrophobic because nothing is where it belongs and everything is out of place, but no one's coming over, so why bother? You should bother for you. You deserve to have the surroundings that you want, that you enjoy, that bring up positive feelings. And by the way, you can't just wait for someone else to do it for you or give it to you. That was what we talked about yesterday for Valentine's Day. And if you're on here today disappointed in how Valentine's went yesterday, who can you thank for that? Seriously, who can you thank for that? That's when I say get up and go walk and look in the mirror. Because if it didn't go the way you wanted it to, can you, one, be okay with that? And two, is it because that you had expectations of others? And what were the expectations you had of yourself? So I'm not trying to throw this and blame you. But what I am saying is you have to take radical responsibility for yourself and how you're showing up in the world. And if you're showing up in your world and you don't even love yourself, is it any wonder why you might be having some trouble? So, this is what self love is really about. And if we are all connected, and if we are connected to our creator, then when we don't love ourselves, what else does that say? We don't love who we're connected to. We don't love our creator. Because if the creator created us and we don't love us, well, then you must be pretty ticked off. And what message does that send? So there is, as you can see, a lot of depth to this conversation, a lot of depth. One of the biggest ways I show myself self-love is standing up for myself, taking no shit. Yes, very true. Because again, how we treat ourselves or how we allow other people to treat us also tells our heart something. If we are in an abusive relationship or we are in a job that we can't stand, which by the way is kind of like an abusive relationship and can be if you have a boss, a bad boss, right? And we allow it to continue because, oh, we'll have to go on a job search and we'll have to look for another job and I probably won't get one. That's a bunch of negative self-talk. And you're not exactly exuding confidence in yourself. Again, telling your heart that you're not worthy or that you're not good enough. So those are the feelings that have to be tapped into. Yes, tapped into. You can't swallow those down and just hope they go away. You actually have to address these issues, these emotions. Because if you don't, they're going to keep poisoning the other aspects of your life. They're going to keep coming in and they're going to keep undermining all of the good that you're trying to do. So, taking a look at this and realizing that I do want more. I do want to be more. I want to raise my standards for myself, which then in turn will allow you to raise the standards of everything around you, not everybody. Because remember, you have no control over other bodies. You can only control yourself. But isn't that powerful to know that you have control over yourself and your emotions? But you have to choose it. You have to decide that you are going to be radically responsible for yourself. And when you do that, you can embrace your emotions and you can start pausing before you react and losing your shit. This is when we use the term put on your big girl panties and go do something. If you don't like it, change it. If you want more, go get it. Go demand it if you have to, if you deserve it. And if you don't think you deserve it, why? And what has to change in order for you to believe that you're worthy? Worthy of other people's love, worthy of a better job, a better car, a better whatever. You get to gift that to yourself, but you got to believe it. So, no lying to yourself, no more hiding from yourself. Let's clean this up internally within yourself, clean up these emotions. Let's bring in some positivity about who you are, because everything you've gone through in your whole life has created who you are today. And you can either be pissed off at everything you went through, or you can say, you know what? I'm going to use everything that I've been through to help me now and help others because I love who I have become. I used to be that person that would have to have the radio, the TV, some kind of noise, have people with me at all times. Like I could not just sit in a room quiet. Now I enjoy my meditation space. Now I enjoy contemplating life, sitting outside, looking up at the stars or the clouds. I don't mind quiet time with myself. I look forward to it. I had to do the work. And there's pieces of that there's self-forgiveness. Once you can do that, your whole life opens up. Your whole life opens up. And that's what I want to help you get to. So before we end, since we are moment of presence, let's do our breathing. So we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to hold it up at the top. And think about the last time you really saw yourself in the mirror and allow those feelings to come up. Ready? Big deep breath in. Hold it. What did you see in the mirror? Exhale. Big deep breath in. What feelings do you want to come up when you look in the mirror? Long exhale. And big deep breath in. What would have to change in order for you to feel that way? Slow exhale. So before I leave you today with the mirror exercise that I'm going to give you, I want you to do this every time you pass a mirror for the next 3 days. Well, we'll just say till Monday, and then you can join me and let me know how it went. Every time you pass a mirror, I want you to wink at yourself if you can wink. My winks are kind of not great, but you can wink at yourself. Show yourself some love when you pass a mirror every single time. And smile at yourself. If you can do the little heart with your hands, do the little heart with your hands. If not, you can do the I love you. Do that one. But every time you pass a mirror, do that for the next 3 days. And see how things start changing. See how you have a bit of a perspective shift. So remember, self-love. You were born with it. It's inside of you already. It's in your heart. You just have to let it come out. You have to embrace it. And the emotions that are in your way can be cleared up once they're acknowledged. And you can reach out for help if you can't do this, or you've been trying to do this for a long time and you haven't been able to do it on your own. Because it is a lot of work. But it's so worth it on the other side. And you don't have to do it alone. So book a call. Happy to talk more with you about this. It is mokshagrace.com/coaching. And remember your homework. If you see a mirror, you better be smiling in it. Every day that you wake up, you have a choice. You can either have a really good day or a really bad day, but it's completely up to you. Because it is. So choose wisely. And I will see you tomorrow for day 5. Talk to you then.